Hi, I'm Lauren Beale, a reporter for the Los Angeles Times business section, and I have the privilege of writing the Hot Property column, which looks at all the real estate dealings of the rich and famous and entertainers, different celebrities in our area. Today, to discuss the houses in the column and give us a little bit more in-depth real estate look at them is Kofi Nartey of the agency in Beverly Hills. Welcome, Kofi.
Hello, Lauren. Good to see you again.
Great to see you. We're glad you could make it.
Thanks for having me.
I'm starting the column with Christina Aguilera this week. She has bought something in Mulholland Estates, a gated community that is popular with celebs. The seller is Tom Gores, who owns the Pistons. He's back to Michigan, I guess, for now. Yeah. And this neighborhood, I've seen houses being sold for a lot less. She paid $10 million. I know Charlie Sheen has bought up several there, I think at probably about half that amount. So I was curious, this is definitely mansion-worthy at over 11,000 square feet. Is this the going rate now for living in that neck of the woods?
Well, this market that we're in is an accelerating market. Every property that sells outprices the previous home, and every comp is a new comp that the next sale will be judged upon. Now, Mulholland Estates, it's one of the gated communities in the Beverly Hills post office area, and it is fairly popular as well as some of the other gated communities in the area because of the exclusivity and privacy that they're able to obtain there. I do believe she did pay a bit of a premium, but in looking at the house, she just sold a house that had the same bedroom count, 6 bedrooms, 9 baths, and so maybe this was just the right fit for her. So part of it may have been logical, the other part may have been purely emotional.
Well, I was curious about that because it is definitely huge, but it does seem like a top dollar purchase. It seems right now with inventory so low, a lot of these things are being priced very high. So
yes.
I haven't heard yet what she got for the house she sold, but it was definitely a comparable type home.
It was just
in a little different neighborhood.
Yeah, it was just past $11 million. It was in Beverly Hills, and I think it sold for $11.5 back in February of this year.
Super. Okay. And then next we look at a little bit of follow-up business here. Sacha Baron Cohen had a home in the Hollywood Hills West area that he was looking either to sell or lease, and he's leased it out at $10,000 a month. Now, maybe that's what homes get in that neck of the woods, but for 2,800 square feet, which is, I'm saying, it's not a small home, but still, I was surprised. Is that the going rate?
Well, first, let me tell you this. I ran into Sacha Baron Cohen a couple years ago on the Manhattan Beach Strand, and we hit it off, had a conversation. I gave him my card, but I made the fatal mistake of not getting his information. I probably could have had that listing.
Darn it.
Darn it. But to answer your question, this particular market that we're in, it's almost as hot for the rental market as it is for the selling market. Rentals are also going for a premium. If you notice, this one wasn't even on the market a full month, and it went for just over the asking price. I've been working with quite a few athletes and entertainers lately, a lot of guys coming back for the off season to LA who've been looking for leases. And we've been in bidding wars. We've had to use strategies like paying 6 months to a year up front just to secure the property. So I'm not surprised that this went for a premium. A lot of home buyers who aren't able to buy the home that they want right now are settling for leases.
That's interesting because I know it just seems like a housing scramble right now in LA. It's always feast or famine out here.
Right.
The next home we're going to look at is Judd Apatow, and got a place in Malibu Colony, which generally means this is a second home retreat type home. Now, again, I don't know, maybe I can't get adjusted to the new pricing, but I thought $10 million, is that what homes are going for? And it's actually over $10 million in that part of Malibu.
Well, we've seen sales starting to slowly increase in the Malibu area. Now, this one was in the Colony, and that's going to add quite a bit of a premium. And in terms of it being a second home, this is actually probably a third or fourth home for them. So they're looking for just a little beach bungalow getaway. It's 2,500 square feet. It's not a huge house at all, but you have the Pacific Ocean as your backyard, and so you are going to pay a premium for that and for the exclusivity of that particular area.
Yeah, I guess that's what surprised me was the 2,500 square feet size was not exactly huge, but yeah, they've got privacy there, they've got the beach, and you're right, that's probably much more than a second home for them.
Yeah, it's a nice beach getaway.
Yeah, it sounds great. Now, next I'm going to go to a couple Dodgers. Always interested each time the season starts, who's buying, who's doing what. The first house is this pitcher. Well, actually, they're both pitchers. It's Zach Greinke, and he bought in Pacific Palisades. Spent about $5 million, and that's kind of what I would expect for that coveted area. How did he do up there? It looks like a pretty big place.
It is. It's a very big place, and he actually did fairly well. I think that the home it's a beautiful home. We have a lot of people who are looking into Pacific Palisades. It's broken up into a lot of smaller neighborhoods, but it has a great neighborhood feel. A lot of people like it because you get some ocean views, you get some mountain views, depending on where the home is placed, and it's not too far from Dodger Stadium. A little drive, but not too far.
Well, the next Dodger actually is much closer, I think. This is another pitcher. It's the South Korean whose name I should have practiced before we did this telecast. But I'm going to just take a stab. Hyun Jin Ryu, and he's starting pitcher from South Korea. He got placed at the Ritz-Carlton residences at LA Live, so he's downtown. These make a lot of sense to me if you're a busy person because you've got your interior, but everything else is taken care of. There's concierge. Now, I don't actually have the sales price on this yet, but a similar unit would have gone for about $1.8 million. Now, I understand that actually your company has a lot of the listings there, or maybe you're the exclusive agents there. Who's buying these other than athletes?
So you're right. We do have the exclusive listing there, so I know the building very well. We're getting a lot of foreign money that's coming into the Ritz-Carlton. We're getting people who are buying second residences and even primary residences. Like you said, it's right in the heart of downtown, in the middle of LA Live. The Ritz-Carlton's one of the few hotel flagships that's also gone into the condo development building business. And they've done a stellar job like they've done with their hotels, full concierge building, all the amenities that you can think of. And it's really starting to heat up. I mean, that building is over 80% sold. They're now going into some of the penthouses. Just a few of the penthouses remain. And that building is actually capturing a higher price per square foot than almost any other building in downtown LA. It's exponentially more. But I think it's due to the level of luxury living that you're able to afford there.
And also, in case people are watching this who are in the LA area, you know, that is such a landmark now on our skyline when you're driving north on the harbor. Such a beautifully shaped building, really quite a big part now of in downtown LA.
And you can't miss it. I mean, if you're driving on the 110 or the 10, it's the first thing that you see coming into downtown LA. And the full renaissance is really taking shape there. I mean, it's like high-rise living, urban, it's pedestrian. You can walk a lot more places now, and a lot more developers are taking advantage of the progress that's being made.
Yeah, that's for sure. And if you were a player who was going to Staples Center a lot, it really would be ideal. He's got to go just a little bit further to get up to the ballpark. And
you may not know this, but from the Ritz, there's actually a secret tunnel that leads straight into Staples. So you don't even have to take the surface streets. You can kind of go through a bat cave that'll take you right into the arena.
That's fantastic. I did not know that, and I would think that that would be a popular spot with Clippers, Lakers, and Kings, and other people who play there. So interesting. Definitely. Now then, the last house we're going to look at is up in Carpinteria. And this is more of a country-type retreat, but it's film director Joel Schumacher's place, and he's had it listed before. It's back now at $7.25 million. It's a huge compound, 5.5 acres. I'm wondering, is this a lot for Carpinteria? I feel like, you know, Montecito, if it had a little different Ojai, if it had a little different community name, maybe it would command more, but I'm just not as familiar with the market there. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I can just say this. I've driven through Carpinteria, and I've driven through Carpinteria. I didn't stop there. I really don't know much about it either. It just at a first glance, it does seem like a high number for an area that doesn't have that same cachet or prestige as Montecito, as Santa Barbara does. It is a large piece of land, so maybe they're looking at it for land value. The home itself, it's not that big. There are only a couple of bedrooms. I believe there may even be a guest house that has another bedroom, but you're not getting a huge home. You're getting a huge lot. So maybe someone is thinking of building a second home or a getaway that people will also drive past. But I've seen they've reduced it by $2 million. I think that reflects maybe the challenges of selling a home in Carpinteria at this price point.
Well, I did think that might be part of the attraction of it too, is here's a little more out of the way private area where you're not expecting celebs to buy,
right,
and really seem to have a lovely rustic feel. The home itself is quite charming,
right,
and maybe they're just waiting for that right buyer who doesn't need to be glommed together with all the rich and famous in another community.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, this is true. And actually, you can even expand on that land. There's another lot that's available that's adjacent to the property that's another couple of acres, I believe. So if you wanted to have even a larger piece of land in Carpinteria, you can.
Yeah, it really looked lovely. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have room for in the column this week.
All right.
Always appreciate you coming in and giving me your insight on what's going on. So
no problem.
Hope you'll be back again soon.
As soon as you'll have me.
All right. Thanks so much.